All right, guys, I interviewed the founder of a fitness brand called D Moose. Such an incredible story. And he broke everything down on how he was able to turn this fitness brand from zero to multiple eight figures in revenue every single year. It doesn't matter if you're doing five, six, seven figures, you're going to get so much actionable takeaways from this interview. We talked about how he's got started in his e-commerce journey back in 2016, his product research methods. There were some really, really interesting golden nuggets that he dropped there that I never even thought of. What are some of the criteria that he looks for in a winning product, how he customizes all his products, and so on and so forth. So I think you guys are going to really, really enjoy this interview. I surely did. All my students did. And yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode.
Hey Tom, how are
There
you?
you go. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Okay, so first of all, Moose, how do you pronounce your actual name? Is it Mosai?
Yeah, it's Musaya, but people actually call me Moose.
Yeah, yeah. But how do you pronounce your real name?
It's Musayab.
Musa. Yep. Okay, cool.
Musayab, yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right, guys. So, just for a quick context here, just a quick introduction. So, Moose's team has reached out to me to get him to kind of feature his story. I know, Moose, you're probably doing a lot of these, right? Like you're trying to get on podcasts and stuff like that. Yeah. So your team reached out to me, and I have a podcast as well that I'm a little bit more inactive, to be honest. But I do these live group coaching calls every single Wednesday with my students. I have a course called FBA Masterclass, and I just thought it might be really good for you to just do like a almost like a live version of the podcast, speaking in front of some folks, getting them to ask them any questions that they have. Not sure how much you know about me. Do you know anything or not really? Did your team?
Just a very little context, not too much.
Okay. So I won't, go into too much detail about myself, but I think it might be useful for you to just know kind of who I am. So born and raised in China. Actually, we share kind of similar stories in some senses. So born and raised in China, came to Canada at 10. I'm in Vancouver. I think you're in Windsor, was it?
Ontario, yeah, but I
Yeah.
actually moved to Texas.
Oh, you're in Texas. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask you a little bit about that. Started my career in sales, built a seven-figure e-commerce brand called Sdara Skincare. It's a health and beauty skincare company. Primary sales channels, mostly Amazon, but we also had Shopify, did a lot of influencer marketing, got into retail and stuff like that as well. Sold a business in December 2020 to Thrasio. I'm not sure if you heard of Thrasio before.
Yeah,
Uh,
they went back. They
yeah,
went
yeah.
bankrupt too, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so the bankruptcy is interesting. So what I understood is like there's actually two different types of bankruptcies. So one is like chapter 7, one's chapter 13. So one is like we're closing doors, like we're just like bankrupt, like we have no more money. The other one is more like a reorg, like a structuring. So there's actually because I reached out the first thing I heard about the bankruptcy, right? I'm like, hey, I want to buy my brand back. And they're like, oh, actually we're just restructuring everything. So anyways, good lesson to be learned from there on my end. And then started FBA Masterclass in 2020 as well during COVID, scaled that up to over 8,000 students that we have now. So one of the larger Amazon FBA courses on the marketplace. But yeah, it's not so much about me today. It's more about you. Super intrigued with what your team has sent me. I don't know anything about you other than what your team has sent me. And I would like to kind of keep it that way up to this call because what I found is if I know a lot about a person, the conversation to me actually not that interesting anymore. Like, because I know everything about that person already. It's more for my students. So I'm actually kind of happy that I don't know too much about you. But I'd love for you to just kind of give everybody a quick, kind of like what I did, like just a quick 10,000, 30,000 feet overview of just like your life up to this point. How old are you? You live in Texas now. When did you come to Canada? What were you doing? Talk to us about like your ecom brand. And then I love to kind of go back to the very beginning and then we can kind of have this interview in like very chronological order. Just like your childhood, when you came to Canada, what was that like? What was your first business? What was your second business? And so on and so forth.
So kind of give a brief overview right now.
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to know a
Yeah,
little bit about that.
first of all, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much. These days, I'm in the mood for giving back to people. I want to motivate people to, get more out of their life because I've established my business and I just I want to go and make sure like people don't make the same mistakes. So I'm happy to be here helping anyone out. I'm from Pakistan originally, moved to Canada back in 2019. I did bachelor's in Pakistan for mechanical engineering. Always thought I will be an engineer for all of my life. Moved to Canada to do master's in mechanical engineering. Did that, then started working in Detroit in automotive consulting companies. Worked for 3-4 years when I started realizing that this is not for me. 9 to 5, I cannot do 9 to 5. I need to like do, find something more from life. So started looking into many different things. Some of the businesses that came to my mind were like I can do something with real estate, something with stocks. Did some real estate. Like it was a lot of equity at that point that I did not have. I did like tap into a little bit into stocks and penny investing and technical analysis, and almost went into depression because of because of investing in stock market, and it did not work out. Then started with drop shipping. Drop shipping did not work out for me. And then I started the FBA business. I thought I will like start with one product, much like, maybe you have like your students right now. I took a course as well from Startup Bros, and went heavy on this. And because I told myself this is like do or die for me. And I'm going to either like, do this or regret this for the rest of my life. So I like immersed myself into it, and I invested everything that I had. I maxed out my credit cards. I took loan from my brother. I did everything. I was like, I'm gonna take like this big risk. My first product launch was a huge failure. We will talk about that, why it was, but it was a very big failure. But I consider that right now as a blessing in disguise, that, maybe God was teaching me a lesson to, make me like stronger. But it was a very big lesson for me that, what are the things that are not working on, the mistakes and all those things. So eventually, it gave me the motivation to like keep on pushing and, and learning more from my mistakes and keep on going. So my vision grew bigger and bigger. And we're at the point like where we are a very established brand. I have almost like 50 employees, and we're doing well over 8 figures right now. Our target is to go for 9 figures, 100 million in the next couple of years. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. So I have a team who's like doing a lot of things, and I am like, just managing the business and trying to give back.
Gotcha. That's awesome. So the brand that you have right now is called dmoose.com. For
Yes.
those people that want to look him up, you can. So you started this brand. So it's a fitness brand. When did you start this brand, you said?
Mid of 2017.
Mid 2017.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I
Gotcha.
started with actually two to three brands on Amazon. My first product that I started was actually the brand Demos as well. But that was just like a camera wrap. I found out. If you want, I can talk about that a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Is it the
Please
right
do.
time? Okay.
Yeah.
So I back then there were not a lot of like good softwares. When I started out, there was Jungle Scout, and there was like Helium 10 was in its infancy stages. Jungle Scout used to be huge, late 2016. So I found out a product, and there were a lot of Google Chrome extensions, and the data was showing me that one of the product is doing really good, like from one of the sellers, and he was the only seller in that space, like that was selling like a camera wrap. And he was doing like $76,000 a month. And I was like, there's nobody else selling it. This guy is selling it for like $35 if I bring it, because I took the courses. I want to go back a little bit too, because I took a lot of courses, because I wanted to understand everything from start to finish before I, ordered my product. I wanted to understand the whole process, at least from 2 to 3 different people. So I understood every single thing. So because I believe in like, the more knowledge you have, the better you're able to make your decisions. So I gained a lot of knowledge. Once I did that, I, went into like launching the product. So when I launched, when I was in the product discovery phase, I looked at that product. He was doing really good, $76,000, $80,000. And I started working on, contacting different Chinese suppliers, got some samples from 2, 3 different people, made some modifications, much like, we are being taught like all these FBA sellers, much like you to, make modification, customization. I did that. I launched it, and it was all literally like crickets, no one was buying it. I was spending so much money on PPC. No one was like, it was not even moving. I was spending like $100, $200 a day on PPC. So I started like looking into it. What's wrong? And that same software that told me that it's doing like $76,000 a month, after like I launched the product, I checked that out. They updated their data to like just show that it's doing only like $7,000 to $8,000 a month. And I was like, what is this? But still, I was like, no, I'm still gonna make it work, and I started contacting different photographers to make sure, like, started reading books about like what makes a good listing. Why is my listing not selling? I became obsessed with like, why is my listing not selling? I want to learn. So I started learning more about how to write copy, started writing my own copy because before I was giving it to like people on Fiverr. I started understanding my product, started like taking pictures even by myself. I ordered that Amazon, the
Like
product
boxes.
box, you can put it in the light and whatever. So I did that, started learning a little bit of like Photoshop and, but I hired a graphic designer to do a little bit of work. So for next 2, 3 months, I invested a lot of time and energy into that like product. Even took some courses about Amazon PPC, Amazon advertising, but the product was still not moving. And I was like, screw this. And I started looking into like other product at the same time. So I started looking into 4 or 5 different products at the same time because I understood that, hey, this one has failed. Maybe I will launch more. Maybe one of them will work. 1 or 2 of them will work, but I will give it all of my energy. So I'm an engineer myself. So I started using like AutoCAD and, different things to customize few of the other products. And I launched a baby brand. It was called Little D Moose. And I launched a fitness brand under the same products, D Moose. But eventually I was more excited about the fitness brands because I was going through my own some of health issues at that point. I was diagnosed with IBS and I was going into depression at that time, low key, because my business was not doing very well. And I was like really, like I don't know how to explain the words, but I was like really, I had a lot of anxiety that why this product is not selling. So I was checking the sales all the time. But I mean, so eventually I'm here. So obviously everything worked out. But that was like how I launched my first product.
Wow. Again, I didn't know that you were had such a heavy footprint in the Amazon FBA space. So that's really kind of your Amazon FBA was your first gateway into the world of e-commerce of what you built today then.
Yes. I
Gotcha.
definitely started with, yeah, Amazon.
Gotcha. And I see that you guys still sell on Amazon today. Curious to know what percentage of sales right now comes from Amazon? What percentage of sales come from your website? Because I see that like even on your own website, you're getting like a lot of traffic.
Yeah, I mean, no one can beat Amazon. At the end of the day, I've been trying to do DTC from a very long time. So if anyone who would be starting out, I would definitely say start from Amazon.
Mm.
Don't start from DTC or
D2C, by the way,
Shopify.
sorry, yeah, D2C. By the way, guys, D2C just stands for direct to consumer, meaning you're building your own website and you're basically buying advertising on Instagram, Facebook, Meta, or Google, whatever, and you're trying to get people to come on your website to buy your customers. So, Moose, why do you say that? Why for beginners? Why do you say that Shopify is easier? Sorry,
Because
Amazon is
Amazon
easier.
is Amazon, man. Like I recently moved into Texas too, and I'm buying everything from Amazon, even though I have a DTC brand. It just makes things very, very easy for the consumer. I hate like that, some people hate Bezos or whatever. I hate him too sometimes, but he has created a beautiful business that we cannot like deny, right? The customer
Yeah.
service is next level. Amazon customers, they trust Amazon. I have ordered some products. I know Canada is not like that, but literally I have ordered products in the morning and by the evening time they're here. So, like it really makes the things very, very easy for you. Amazon has a lot of traffic. You cannot beat the amount of traffic. Even if you launch these days anything that someone is like, there's 10 competitors. If you're doing your job right, maybe 50 to 60%, I cannot believe that you will not get sales. Like
Mm.
it's like Amazon has obviously, and it's growing. It's growing even more like every single day. Like, the sales that we used to do back in 2017, 18 are like 10x just because, Amazon is also growing, right? The
Right.
e-commerce space is growing, Amazon is growing, younger generation is buying from, Amazon. They're more coming into e-commerce. Obviously, you can do a lot more things to, support your Amazon business too. Like there are like several other strategies about traffic that you must do actually if you want to sustain yourself on Amazon. But Amazon is the behemoth of e-commerce. I mean, they have like a revenue of 600 billion. So
Yeah. Talk to us about those strategies. I'd love to kind of dive a little bit deeper into more tactical things. What are some of these strategies that you're kind of doing to boost the sales on Amazon today?
from traffic point of view,
Yeah.
what I can tell you, number one thing is from my last 5 to 6 years of experience, I have seen many sellers come into my space, come and go. And the only thing that has helped us sustain is to make a brand. Yes, Amazon is good. Yes, Amazon, you can launch one product, right? But you need to focus on making yourself stand out as a brand. Why should people buy from you at the same time, right? The more you will focus on branding, the more people will start to trust you, the more Amazon will kind of like push your products to other people as well. But branding is everything. So once you like, branding is basically a messaging, and marketing is basically taking that message and telling it to a lot of other people through your colors, through your values, through your mission, all of those things. So you can do all of, so once you make a brand, once you have like a entity, it's like having a baby, right? So baby has a personality. So your brand needs to have a personality. Once you have that personality, your job is to communicate that personality across different channels, TikTok, social media, wherever you can find, to promote yourself as a brand. But I mean, we use a lot of different channels. I consider every touch point as something that I want to go back a little bit, because in my experience, customers are everywhere. Customers are not just on Amazon, right? So that's where like marketing, I'm a huge proponent of marketing, not just for Amazon, but like just basic marketing, because customer can buy from you from your website, customer can buy from you from retail store, customer can buy from you from Amazon. Amazon customers are Amazon, and retail customers are retail, right? So traffic is everywhere. So your job is to market your products across different channels, whatever you can find. So be it email, mail, social media, paid ads, affiliates, sponsorships, creators, post purchase. There's a lot, all of these like different techniques that you can use to, keep on sending traffic to your website, to your Amazon, and all of those things. But for specifically for Amazon, as I said, like we do marketing for our DTC website. We make ads, we run ads on our Facebook, so people they go to our website. If they don't like our website, they go buy from Amazon. We're doing some stuff on TikTok shop. We're making like we have our own TikTok store as well. So again, people buy either from TikTok or they go buy on Amazon. Same thing with Instagram, social media marketing. There is like not any black hat tactics or any gray hat tactics that I can tell you that that will boost the sales of your Amazon listings, but it's all just like
Yeah,
marketing.
and I love that, right? Like I actually am not a big fan of like black hat I know there's a lot of black hat tactics in the Amazon space because at the end of the day it's an algorithm. But then the problem with the black hat tactics is number one, you're putting your business at risk. That's number one. Number two, once everybody finds out these tactics, which eventually people do, like the super URLs and stuff, like it's very short lasting. It's like 2 months, 3 months, and it doesn't work anymore. And then someone else needs to find another black hat. And I think nowadays, like I started Amazon in 2017. I think nowadays it's much harder to do black hat. Amazon has just cracked down on everything. And again, when
I
your
mean, it's
business
not
is
worth it. Yeah, it's
yeah,
not worth
like
it.
when your business
At
is
the end of
doing
the day,
5 million a year, 10 million a year, you wanna put your entire business at risk. Like, no, that's stupid.
it's not
Um,
worth it at all. Yeah.
so talk to us a little bit. I'm curious a little bit about your brand building approach. Like I went on your website, right, Dmoose, and I went through some of your photos and your logo, your story and whatever. And I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, you were kind of focusing on more of the hardcore gym, not like the casual gym goers. Like I'm talking about people that are really, really big and they have like tattoos everywhere. Like I see a lot of tattoo guys on your website, like with black background with red, very like intense. They're trying to get like as big, strong as possible as they can. Why did you decide to go after that segment of the market? How did you kind of decided to focus on that rather than maybe some of the other segments of the market?
I mean, I started with that. So the initial products that I launched on Amazon were based on the opportunity. They were not based on branding, but eventually we rolled into like the branding, right? So the first products that I launched were like ankle straps and all the fitness accessories products, like that kind of got our name. And so those were like hardcore at that time, like hardcore fitness products, right? So we chose that audience. But right now we are actually going away from that audience, and we're going for everyday people. We're actually in transition to change our entire brand and messaging from that hardcore bodybuilders and hardcore powerlifting people to more everyday people. So I mean, I don't see any problem with like changing the branding as well. It's that's what I would tell anybody right now as well. If you have you should try to like hone in on one message. You should like really interview. So So the reason we're changing our branding as well is because we also interviewed a lot of our customers, and we found out that, they are not looking for this aggressive approach as well. I actually went to Mr. Olympia back in 2022, and we had a booth there, and we had to like spend a lot of money, like $40,000-$50,000 to had a booth and, like get our products there. But I realized that this is not my audience. Like, I'm in the wrong place. So that's when I decided I need to change my approach and go for like bigger audience, which is like more everyday people who are more interested in weight loss rather than bodybuilding. Because 90% of the world's populations, their problem is weight loss, not muscle building. So we have changed our approach. But whatever it is, I think, a brand has a couple of things I can tell you that I've learned, like is, the brand needs to have like a positioning, and, you need to position yourself as the ultimate leader in your space, right? Like why people should buy from you. You really need to have that message clear. And then you also need to deposition other competitors as well, right? So a lot of people, when they do branding, they make the mistake of like positioning themselves. Oh, we have the best quality, lowest price, and blah, blah, blah. People don't associate themselves with the best quality or the lowest price. You need to actually have a message, a mission, especially these younger audiences these days. They're buying from brands that they can actually connect on an emotional level. They can connect with their mission, the sustainability mission, or like something like that they can, support after and talk to their friends about too. But so whatever you do, you position yourself, but you also deposition other competitors as well. Like, this is what we do, and this is not what other people are doing. And that's why what we are doing,
So you're pulling people away, but you're also pushing people away.
exactly. Yes. No,
Right.
you're pulling people away, but also you're pushing your competitor away, and you're
Yeah.
also pushing people that cannot stand with you. So
Yeah. Yeah.
if
Yeah.
those people do not want to stand with you, that's fine,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we want to build a base of people who are our cult followers, who are
Right.
not just here for like, like Apple. You can learn a lot from Apple, Nike, some of the big brands. They just like, people are hardcore fans, and there's a reasoning why they're hardcore fans, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. So, I'm on your website, and they're like, you sell like, how many SKUs do you have?
Honestly, I don't even know.
You
I
have like,
think maybe above like 700.
yeah, you have a lot of SKUs. So you have like, for example, you have fitness accessories, you have like boxing, MMA, you have like even protein, like isolate protein, creatine, monohydrate, and stuff like that. And you, on top of that, you have like fish oil and supplements and stuff like that. What would you say the 80/20 is for you? Would it be gym equipments that generates 80% of the revenue, or?
I mean, on yes, right now, yes, the equipment generates the more sales for us as compared to supplements. Supplements are very competitive, but once you tap into supplements can become very easy because of the subscription model, because of the recurring, But those are two different models. For Amazon, anything can work in my point of view, but from the DTC, that's the reason of going into supplements is because we want to make DTC more profitable. So that put people on a subscription, get that recurring, sale from them, or increase the lifetime value of the brand. But on Amazon, I think anything can go as long as you can, do some customization and whatever. But yeah, right now we are doing like 80% equipment and 20% supplement. We're actually launching apparel as well in just like 2 to 3 weeks. We have
Sorry,
like
a
a
what?
couple of apparel. We are
Okay.
launching like fitness apparel. Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. So talk to us a little bit about, let's say, okay, so let's say everything is taken away from you. Okay. You have the only thing you have are the experiences and the knowledge that you learned from books and your own business, whatever, over the past since 2016. So it's been a while, 10 years. Or no, sorry, 8 years. And you have no money. Okay. And someone gave you $10,000 and said, hey, I'm gonna give you $10,000 and you have to start kind of like an Amazon FBA brand today. Okay. Talk to me about how you would approach like product research, how you would approach like product differentiation, because I think you've said this word like many times already, right? How would you approach this? Because the reality is that when you and I started Amazon in 2017, 2016, the landscape is different today than it was back then. What are some of the things that you would do differently? What are some of the things that you would do today? Because, a lot of people say, well, it's getting too competitive, too many Chinese sellers, prices are too low, fees are too high. How would you do it today?
I mean, we're still launching products, almost like one product every single week.
Wow.
And I can tell you from my experience that I'm in Amazon FBA world as well. I'm in funnel building world as well. I'm in marketing world as well, DTC world as well, right? The biggest thing is product customization and giving extra value. If you are not doing that, you're not spending time in figuring out like how can you make a better product, you're not going to succeed, right? Even if, like, I'll take the simple example of a supplement. So if someone gives me a $10,000, whatever, number one thing I would go and do is create, first I will decide, I mean, okay, so number one thing I will go and do is like find the product on Amazon. Like I will use all these softwares to, find out different opportunities. I will dive deeper into them. I will figure out how many sellers are there, who is selling at what price, what can I do, what kind of customizations I can do. If I see like some opportunity in any product, I will put them in another sheet, maybe like come up with like 5 to 3 different products that I'm really like interested in, all the same, like different models. If I can do some customization, talk to different suppliers, try to do the customizations. And let's say, you can customize it from a different point of view. Definitely talk to like minimum three suppliers and get the samples from them, not just one. Talk to 3 different suppliers and get the samples from them, customize them as much as you can, focus on the quality, focus on quality control, all of those things, whatever. Then I would make a brand around that product, right? I would choose, go to Fiverr, hire someone for $100, and I would choose, whatever product you have decided. Let's say you have decided on a supplement that you like, right? And you say, okay, all these best sellers are selling supplements in this space. They have like this much ingredients, because I feel like supplements are the easiest thing if you can find a supplier, because it's just like, you do not need a lot of moving parts. And, because I'm launching some supplements on Amazon, I'm realizing supplements are actually very easy. So let's say you find a supplement, you say, okay, you know what, I can add this ingredient, I can add that ingredient, whatever, I can customize it and I can make a better formula. You do that, then you go to Fiverr, you make a brand, you pay someone, say, hey, you know what, I'm trying to create like a brand. I need like, this is the look and feel, whatever. They can give some direction to you. Maybe they can make a small brand book for you, so that, if you launch more products under that, it's like easier. Or even if you launch on Amazon, you have like your own personality, and your listing will be nice and it will be very presentable, and you can use those points for you. So then obviously I will focus on, I use ChatGPT all the time. I use Gemini all the time. It's very easy to write your product titles, bullet points, product descriptions, even images, unique points. Like if you have launched your own supplements, you would know like what's the customization. You can easily go put it in Gemini, ChatGPT, and you can come up with like images, descriptions, like how does it differentiate. You can use that, give it to a graphic designer. If you don't have any, give it to a graphic designer on Fiverr, tell him like whatever, the image number 1 needs to be like this, image number 2 needs to be like this, image number 3 needs to be like this. I can talk about a little bit about images too, like focus on the benefits and focus on the features at the same time, right? Because sometimes people do not know. So for example, if you're selling supplement, obviously your main image needs to be, you should spend a lot of time on your main image. Make 4 to 5 variations of your main image, and so that you can A/B test them. Like right, if your supplement is like a 2-month supply, right, 2-month supply on top, like and US, if made in USA, stuff like that. So it can pop up in the images when someone is like clicking on them. So like win your main image. That's your job. If for any new product listing, win your main image, and then focus on the rest of the images. Talk about a couple of benefits, what makes you unique, why is your product different than the other competitor. Talk about the features, whatever. Write a nice title based on all the keywords. Do the keyword research. Go for the big keywords in your main title. Write a nice title. ChatGPT writes really nice titles. You can literally say, hey, write an Amazon title for me, and he will, for this product, and he will write a really nice title for you. Make sure you have ChatGPT Pro, obviously. Write bullet points. Gemini writes really good bullet points. Gemini can write a really good Amazon Premium A+ as well for you, so you don't need a next level copywriter. Use that all that information, make your listing. Start with Amazon PPC. I mean, obviously, start with like $50 to $100 per day. Make very basic listings. Go for automatic. Go for broad campaigns as well. Make different campaigns, 1 keyword, 1 campaign. Make 1 keyword, 1 campaign, so that if you have to like negate something, or you have to like turn off something, you can do that. But then try to learn more about PPC and see how you can win at PPC. But then Amazon loves outside traffic. So then you also make a plan on let me sit down and figure out how can I send more traffic to my listing. What are some of the things? Your brand could be completely different, right? So this is what I also learned in marketing as well, that especially brand Liquid Death. I don't know if you guys know about Liquid Death. Their marketing is like, they've literally been evaluated like 1.4, $1.5 billion right now,
They
right?
sell water, by
And
the way, guys.
they sell literally water. Yeah, they sell literally water. And but you should not like take the same message that everyone is teaching you and take it to heart and say I cannot like modify it or whatever. So they have done like things, marketing in a very, when everyone is like spending tons of money on Facebook ads and Instagram ads, they like went in a very funny way, and just through social media they have been able to gain like so many followers and so many impressions, and their ads are very different. Chick-fil-A is a very good brand too. They also like make very different ads. So you think about like how go creative and think like, how can I send more traffic? We obviously run like little bit of Google ads when we launch a new listing. We have a Google ads. Try to make an email list. I would, if I'm launching a supplement, I would make an ebook. You literally go to Chat GPT and make an ebook around it. Say, for example, I don't know, some kind of a longevity supplement you're launching, like, resveratrol. I'll take the example of that, right? Write a 15, 20, pages ebook, get someone to proofread it, some expert, maybe pay him $100 to proofread it so that you have extra value. Provide as much extra value as you can. And in your listing, you can also say it comes with a free ebook. Then you can make a page, put your ad on social media, say download our free ebook on your social media channels. You can say, give us your email, download our free ebook. And then you use that to send, when someone will subscribe to your email, you use that, and you will send them email newsletters and send the traffic to your Amazon. Same from Google ads, Facebook ads, email, social media stories. You cannot go affiliates with the first product.
What would you say?
Yeah,
Because there's so many different. By the way, guys, if you guys are getting value out of this call right now, can you just drop something in the comment section? Because this guy is just coming in and dropping bombs on everybody. He's just giving you guys the goods. Tim says yes. Finn's loving it. Yeah, everybody's been loving it. So it's been really good. There are so many different channels now where you can do advertising. You said, you can do email, affiliates, and Google and search and TikTok and Instagram. How would you decide which channel to first start? Because like I tell my students, I'm like, guys, you can't boil an ocean, right? You shouldn't do everything at once. You should find out where your customer lives and then just kind of go heavy on that channel. What is your approach with regards to D-Moose? Like, where did you guys first start? What was your first channel outside of Amazon?
I would say definitely email.
Email.
If you can collect people's email somehow, through a lead or through a discount or through something, because email is very personal, then you can talk to them, because social media, you cannot talk to different people. Email is like a channel where you can talk to different people and, kind of like send them email every single day, talk about their pain points, talk about their problems, don't sell your product in email, obviously. But literally, like, don't sell your product. Like, write, like, why. Again, I will use the example of resveratrol. Why living healthy is so important. Why having a long life is so important. Do it for your kids, So basically, there is a saying in DTC world as well, you need to make the customer the hero of their journey, right? And it's like the example of all the movies that we see. Like, there is a hero and he goes through all these different hurdles and the pain in his life. And eventually he comes out as a stronger person at the end of the movie. And we're all waiting for that, like, pinnacle point. We're watching literally on our feed. We're watching for that, right? So in your emails too, in your actually copy as well on Amazon, you need to make the customer the hero of your journey. Hey man, you have these problems, you have these pain points, all those things. But if you use our product at the end, very subtle, if you use our product, that can transform your life. And right now we're giving you at whatever 10, 15, 20% discount. Go buy it right now. You create urgency and scarcity. So collect emails, because email is very personable. Second thing I would do is make sure, like, if you can create a community, start from day one, try to make a community, because it's easier to launch products to existing customers and consumers rather than finding new customers all the time, because that's what I'm learning in DTC as well. Acquiring new customers is very, very expensive, right? So if you can focus on, and if you're launching a second product, which I have done a mistake, involve your customers. If you launch your first product and it's successful, don't like go in front of the camera and talk to hey guys, I want to talk to you. Talk to your customers and say, hey, what's the next product we can launch? Ask them through Typeform, through customer surveys, whatever. Ask them, hey, what's the next product we can launch? And they will give you a lot of ideas. And once you get that, you go and start working on your second product. Because if you will do that, your second product will be a very successful one. Your third product will be a successful one. And that's what people want. When you will bring in your customers, in your product development stage as well. They will be involved from day one, so they will have a emotional and a vested interest in making sure your product becomes successful, right? Which I have not done in the beginning, and I have realized after a very long time that we need to talk more to our customers, and that's why I told you, like, we're recently transitioning to our new branding.
I
So
have
yeah,
a
definitely I will start with email. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. I have a question. So, and I love actually how you didn't say paid ads because I think paid ads is very, very hard to make it work at scale and profitable. It's like you gotta have a big budget, you gotta really know your skill sets, and so everything you mentioned up to this point is actually quite organic and more free. And then I think, yeah, so that's really good. So I was going to ask you a little bit about custom product customization because you have again said this many times. So I have a lot of students who obviously I teach them, I'm like, guys, you need to make your product different, right? You like for example, that water bottle you're drinking out of. Like people are like, oh, I want to sell that water bottle. Like you can't just sell that water bottle. You're gonna get absolutely destroyed. Someone has like 50,000 reviews selling it for like 9.99 on Amazon. You can't compete. So for that water bottle, they're like, well, okay, Tom told me to customize it. So I'm going to make the water bottle XYZ. And the XYZ, essentially, it's like their hypothesis, right? It's like, oh, these are the things that's going to make it different. But what I've found is that a lot of these XYZs are just like pretty bad ideas. But it's different. It's like, it's customized, right? But customization needs to be customized according to your customer needs and wants, right? So, what is your framework around customization according to basically what I'm trying to ask is okay, everybody understand how to customize something and they need to customize something. But how do you actually validate that the people even want this before you sink, 50 like 10,000 in tooling costs and this and that? Don't customize for the sake of customizing. How do you actually validate that idea that you have? Do you guys do this at all or do you guys just kind of read reviews and
No, so definitely we're always on the hunt on Alibaba for new products. I've literally been to 2 or 3 times. I've been to Canton Fair for new product discovery as well. So you need to be always on the lookout for new products, right? You need to be consistently thinking, consistently improving. Whenever you are like, you should be in this framework of finding products all the time. Literally, like you're going out to retail, you're looking at products, you're like, oh my God, what can I do with this? Oh my God, what can I do this? I usually do this with me. Like my first line of defense or whatever you want to call it is me. Like I want to satisfy myself. Okay, if I sell this bottle, what's wrong with this? How can I customize it? Why is this not fitting to my needs? Number one thing is me, right? Then let's say, I go and start looking at different suppliers. Maybe someone is offering a really different thing. I'll give you an example of this actually. So I actually launched a product back in 2018, and it was actually a very successful product. So I found someone selling on Amazon, and I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how can I customize this, because that product was very bulky. And based on my knowledge, I knew that I can make money if I can package this product in a small way, in I can reduce the packaging footprint. Then I can make more money because my FBA cost will be less, and the product will be better too. So I searched on Alibaba, I searched on AliExpress, I scratched my head, I could not find it. I went to Pinterest. I sometimes going to Pinterest and typing those ideas, hey, you know what, blah, 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 right? And I scrolled through pages, I did not find anything. So one day I went to Google Images and I typed, I could not find anything. So I switched my VPN, so I'll tell you like different product discovery methods. I switched my VPN to random country, and I went to Google Images and I typed the same product name, and I saw a similar product, and I was like, oh my God, this is something different. Like I have not seen this like anywhere. The country was South Korea. So someone was selling a similar product in South Korea, and they had a patent in South Korea for that, right? Might call me like I stole his idea and launched it in Amazon, but this is e-commerce, right? So I saw this and I'm like, oh my God, and went to Alibaba and no one was making that product, right? I was like, okay, this is a great idea. No one is selling on Amazon. Not even a supplier is selling it on Amazon, but this is the idea I have. So how can I order this? So I talked to a supplier and they said, hey, we cannot do this. We need the product in hand. So I said, I cannot order this from South Korea for you. I don't know any thing. I'll pay you if you will order this, and I will pay you to, bring it to you. So they ordered it from South Korea. They kind of signed a mutual contract with me that, we'll try our best to reduce the cost for you, but based on initial pictures, this will be the cost for you. So I agreed on that cost and I said, let's go, try, making it. And we went on the sample back and forth. And then once I got it, I also gave it to all my friends and family. I got like 10 samples. I gave it to all my friends and family, and I told them literally, give me the feedback on this. Like, what's wrong with this? Tell me what's wrong with this. And a lot of people actually gave me more ideas. So I implemented 2 or 3 more ideas. So I went through like 4 or 5 iterations with that product, I remember. So when I launched it, and since day one, on first day, it did 100 sales because it was such a different product. I did not even do PPC, honestly, until I launched it, and day one it did 100 sales. We don't sell that anymore actually because like it was not a fitness product, and a lot of competition came in, and I started going more towards the fitness space. This is also an example of where you go where your energy goes and your focus goes. So I did not focus on that product too much, and it kind of like Chinese competitors came in and they kind of killed my product. But that's still what we are doing these days. Like once we I have told my employees who are working in the product development and product research, like to always get 3 different samples from 3 different people. First of all, their job is to find a product that's not available on Amazon. Like it should be highly different,
You're
highly
not if the
customizable.
product is if that product is available on Amazon, you're not touching it. You're like
I'm not touching it. No, there is no.
you need to find a product. I mean, it's a water bottle, but that type of water bottle is currently not on Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then once again, don't rely on one supplier as well, because one supplier will, and also sometimes low cost also doesn't work, because I have paid low prices as well just because I wanted to save like 20 cents, and the supplier quality was shit. You will want to make sure like your quality is the best, because you need to be in this for the long run, right? You're not like messing up. You also need to obsess over your customers too. You need to treat your customers like you're treating yourself. So once you think like that, you're like, okay, I'm not making a shitty product. I need to make a next level product
Yeah.
that like, even I would buy, like, and if the customer wants to return, like still this day, sometimes we lose money on a lot of our heavy products, heavy equipment, but we accept the returns like Amazon, and because we
Wow.
want them to feel like on top of the world. So again, going back, sorry, I got like distracted. Going back, like we still order products from 3 different suppliers, and then my team goes into the gym, check those products. If they're fitness products, they actually hang themselves and test them and bang them and try to give this to the different people who are working out in the gym, ask their feedback. Then they go for another iteration, and then they send it to like 10 people in our community Facebook group, and we ask people, hey, who wants to like try out our product, and we send it to like 10 different customers, and we make like a jot form where we ask for their feedback. Hey, once you are done, like, using this, we need your feedback. So they give the feedback if everything is well, if it needs changes, or sometimes we like review the changes as well. Like, is it too much, or is it like, makes sense, or doesn't make sense, or then we launch it. And even after doing that, quite honestly, we things still go bad,
Yeah.
even after doing a lot of these things.
Yeah, yeah. No, fair enough, man. Dude, really, really helpful. I love to shift the conversation a little bit to more like personal stuff. Up to this point, we talk a lot about business, but I think ultimately business is great. But like, I don't think any of us wish oh, like in our deathbed, we're like, oh man, really wished we launched more successful products on Amazon. What, talk to me a little bit. So you said you were in Texas. So
Yes.
when did you move? Like, did you move? Did you give over Canadian tax residency? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Is anybody on the call from the government of
No, no,
US?
no, no government here.
So,
No.
okay, no, I just moved at least 3 days ago.
3 days ago.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Brand new.
brand new. Yeah.
Wow.
About the life, I will just I'm a huge proponent of something that I call family, fitness, and freedom, and those are some of the things that I have learned through last 6 years. Entrepreneurship has taught me a lot of things, and one of the biggest things that it has taught me is that you need to live your life in balance. If you Because I was so obsessed with my business in the beginning that my health started to deteriorate. I literally was in very bad shape in my life. So I started focusing more on my life, I mean my fitness and health and wellness, and I started to improve that. Because when I started the business, I want to make money. Once I started making money, I bought useless things. I had, almost I had a race car, just like people teaching like fake gurus online. I wanted to buy the Ferrari as well. And, I did some stupid things. And but as soon as I did those, I realized, like, that they only gave me happiness for just like a very short period of time, like a week or 2 weeks. So I realized, like, hey, I'm not a materialistic person. So I realized, like, happiness comes from more things. So I need to like go and find like what's like I became a student of happiness, basically. So
Mm,
the more I dove deep into it, I started realizing that, hey, you need to be grateful for what you already have. Like, you need to be grateful all the time,
mm,
whatever you have, right? I will actually go to this point almost in the end, but I started realizing, like, that you need to be grateful, and started focusing on more on my health and wellness. So I figured out my health and wellness. I was doing good in business, but I still thinking, there is something else missing from my life, right? Because I was not giving time to my family and my friends. I neglected my family and my friends because I was working too much. I was working out too much. I was so obsessed with my fitness. I was so obsessed with my business. Because in the beginning, there is a period of time when you have to, like, be unbalanced. For example, if you're starting out a new business, you cannot say, like, I am balanced, I am very good, I'm in my comfort zone, and, I can also start my business. No, you have to be a little bit unbalanced to start something new, right? So yes, you go unbalanced, but quickly, once you get on your feet, you need to bring yourself back to balance, which is like having a combination of your physical health is number one. You need to be in your top shape, because if you are not in your top shape, you cannot focus on anything else in your life. You will be in depression, you will have less energy, you will have less focus, you will literally not want to do anything. So number one thing in this world is health. Health is wealth. Literally, I understood this after going in a very bad shape. So number one is health. Number two is your goals in life. What are you passionate about? If you are also starting just an FBA business just because to make money, I think you're in the wrong business. You literally need to, like, dive deep into yourself and figure out, maybe you can launch a product that you are excited about. Because if you will launch a product that you are excited about, your excitement will come out. It will show to your customers. It will be portrayed in your business. It will be portrayed with your employees. Everyone will be, inspired from you. Everyone will, like, want to work with you. You will become that energetic, excited person. But if you will not like what you are doing, no one would want to be around you. So you need to find a goal, a passion in life that you can say, hey, this is who I am. If you are a farmer and you want to do farming, that's like, okay, you can be a farmer. You don't need to be an entrepreneur. I meet so many people who do not want to be an entrepreneur. And before, I was pushing them to be like, hey, blah, 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 but they are okay. And number three thing is, like, family and friends. You are nothing without your family and friends. We are social human beings. We need to be around people, because they help us with our mental health, with our emotional health, our spiritual health as well. Family is number one. You need to, like, be in a strong network of people who can support your goals, who can support your health, who can support your mission in life, who can guide you in life. It's a blessing to have those people in your life. So you cannot neglect all of these things. You need to have a balance of family, fitness, and freedom. Because I believe if you remove one of these things from the equation, your whole life will be messed up. If you remove fitness from all of this equation, you will not live a fulfilling life. You will not be happy. Yes, you will be doing something, but you will not be fulfilled from what you are doing every single day. If you remove the family aspect, if you just have your health and your business, you have nobody to share your happiness or your goals or your milestones with. That business is kind of like useless. And if you're not excited about what you're doing as well, you have the best health, you have the best family, but you are waking up every single day, you are not even excited to wake up because you don't have any goals and passions in life, you're not going to have a fulfilling life. So you need to have a balance of all of these things. And all of this starts from one thing that I can tell you, and all of the entrepreneurs talk about this thing all the time, is understand your why. Basically, like, I started, like, writing every single day, like, why am I doing what I am doing, right? So once you go deeper and deeper into your why, all of these things, like, they kind of, like, start to improve.
Yeah, I have the same kind of three trifecta, but mine's four. And I've gone down a pretty dark road. About 3 years ago, I had some health issues and I just couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And the more I couldn't figure out, the worse the health issue got. And then drove like a lot of anxiety, and the anxiety made the health issue worse, and the health issue made the anxiety worse. And it was like just spiral, and I couldn't, and then, like, I was like, holy shit, like, I have everything I need, like, I made it at such a young age. I bought the fancy car, the fancy watch, the fancy house, I have a wife that, like, I like everything is perfect and why am I still feeling this way? And that was actually like the worst feeling ever in the world because, when you don't have everything and you feel that way, at least you have a goal. You're like, well, I feel this way because I don't have everything. So therefore, if I chase after all these things and I get it, I'm going to feel better. So you have a goal. But the issue is when you have everything and you still feel that way, you're kind of screwed because you're like, all these things that were supposed to fix it is not fixing it. So what now? Right. So I had kind of a year or two of that, to be honest with you. And I'm in a much better headspace now. Actually, I was diagnosed with like depression. I went to a neurologist because I had some neurological issues. That was one of my biggest symptoms. And he's like, yeah, I think you have depression. Do you want to go on antidepressant pills? I was like, no, screw that. Because I believe like if depression, it's like if you can get yourself into depression, you can also get yourself out of depression because it's like a very mental thing to me, So so yeah, I was able to do it, and fitness is a huge thing. But yeah, my four pillars are health, wealth, family and relationships and friends, and then spirituality. So those are like my four. And I think that like you can look at like a chair that we're sitting on, right? Usually there's four stools. Like you take one of them, sure, you can still sit on it. Chair kind of wobbles, but like it's still a chair. You take two out of it, you kind of have now you're like really can't sit down properly. You take three out of it, then like the chair is going to collapse. It's no longer a chair. So I really think it's important for everybody to like, I want to teach people to live like a holistic and happy life. Like, yes, I'm here to teach people how to make money on Amazon, but that's only one of the pillars. Like, what about your health? What about your relationships? What about and these are the things that I do regret as well, like not focusing more of my time on when I was building my businesses. So now I almost focus a little bit too much on those and not enough on my business. So I'm a little bit the other way. But I love to ask you kind of like one last yeah, I'd love to ask you a little bit just one last thing. So how much time are you putting towards Moose right now? And how much time are you putting towards maybe some other business ventures, or is your 100% focus on Moose? Do you have other things going on?
I'm more into my personal branding these days, but yeah, I spend like 2-3 hours a day on Demos right now because I have set up some like process and systems, where like other people like taking care of things. And also the reason I'm moving to Texas is I'm like wanna open an office here as well, so I can hire like some US employees to grow the business. But I definitely some new business ideas are in the mind because once you start one business, you can learn from it and do a lot of things. But I actually got a lot of business ideas in the beginning, but I was all about like having laying that one egg and trying to make that the golden egg for me, because I believe like learning from a lot of different entrepreneurs, to like Alex Hermosi and like Russell Brunson and all these different people, that mostly people who have become rich in their life has been through one business, not multiple businesses, right? Because they invested all of their energy. Jeff Bezos is the example. Zuckerberg is the example. There are multiple examples of people who are owning like one business and trying to make that work. Obviously, there's a point when you like stop and you need to like reevaluate where you stand. And if that business is not working for you, you really need to like dive deeper into yourself and kind of like cut it off and start something else. But if something is work, so Demos was kind of like working for me, so I invested a lot of time and energy into like making that huge. Have a big vision also, like this is what I talked about like just before, like having knowing your why is very important, but at the same time having a vision is very important. If you are not a visionary person, there will be days when you will not want to do what you are trying to do, but having your why and having your vision will motivate to do those things, because you will wake up and you're like, oh my God, my vision is that when I'm 80, like I want to be like that person, right? So, and that will guide the direction of your life towards that vision and towards that end goal. So yeah, definitely new business ideas are in the mind, but mostly invested in my health. I'm very much into longevity these days, and like I actually attended a longevity event here in Texas in Austin, and just like in February, and that I came here and I like Texas, and I'm like, okay, I'm moving here. So because I want to order like a lot of longevity equipment and
Oh,
just
cool.
focus more on my health and my health goals. And yeah, eventually after maybe 1 or 2 years, start a couple of other business ideas that I have in my mind, but mostly in the space of giving back. Like I am mostly doing podcasts for no reason, just I want to give back because it makes me feel good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, man. Well, thanks for your time. I'll shoot you an email, and I think I have your email. I'll shoot you an email. Love to connect offline and just stay in touch. That was a really, really informative podcast. This is one of the best calls ever. Feeling absolutely amazing. I feel so inspired. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that was a great call. I think you dropped so many, like you're very good at explaining things. Well, maybe you're an engineer, so you can think like step by step. Yeah, I'd love to ask you a little bit about Texas stuff. I'm actually we're gonna be moving out of Canada as well shortly here. So packing
Everyone is
up
doing that.
everyone, hey, listen, man, when you the capital gains 66%, like you build a
Yeah.
business to sell it like 60%, that's borderline criminal. So yeah, I think as entrepreneurs, people vote with their feet. And the good thing about us is that we're able to pack up our bags and kind of go wherever in the world that welcomes us. So, anyways, don't want to be too political, but thank you again, Moose. That was a
Yeah, I
really,
just want
really
to say
informative
one
call.
thing. Sorry,
Yeah,
thank you for having me. And if anyone wants to follow me, I'm on Twitter these days and on LinkedIn. Twitter is the best. Follow me at Musaverse at Mussaverse. Any questions you guys have, anything, I am willing to, if I have time, I'm willing to jump on call free of charge to help you out. So do follow me for the time being, just
yeah,
I don't have too much time.
yeah,
But
for
like,
sure.
yeah, if you are really, really like passionate about like, you have a problem, you have genuine problem, I would love to help you out.
For sure. For sure. Awesome. Okay, buddy. Well, thanks for the time and good to see everybody. And we will see you guys very soon. Thanks again, Moose.
Thank you, Tom.